more than something, but then he doesn't want to say it anymore. This day wears a skin around it, a membrane that might burst with the wrong word. They are going to watch Evel Knievel jump the Snake River Canyon in a steam-powered rocket. Grandpa says, "What do you think? You gonna make it?" "Not sure." "Well, Judas Priest, of course you're not sure, but what do you think?" Who could say? Jason sees every jump he can, worshipping at the Panasonic each time Evel Knievel climbs onto a motorcycle and flies into the air. It began when Jason watched the Caesar's Palace crash on Wild World of Sports when he was 9. Evel Knievel bouncing off the ramp, body rippling and bike roaring after him like an angry bull. Surely that was a vision of death, but Evel Knievel survived and went out and did it again and again. This jump today, though, rocket ship, canyon, this is something else. "What do you think?" Jason shouts. Grandpa laughs. "He might just do it. He might. I mean, all he's got to do is sit there and get shot a long way." "That's all an astronaut does too, but that don't make it easy." This is something Evel Knievel himself has said in one of the articles Jason razored from the Times News and taped into his scrapbook. "Well," Grandpa says, like he's not going to fight about something so silly with such a junior opponent, "it's not exactly the moon launch." Jason wants to ask Grandpa about their lie, to pin down why it might be acceptable, given what he and the other elders always say in church, "Thou shalt not bear false witness." Jason's parents had cited another commandment when they initially told him he couldn't go to the canyon jump. "Thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy." He was pissed off for days, until Grandpa approached in his shoulder-to-shoulder, gazing at the horizon way one morning while Jason was feeding calves, and asked if he'd heard of this fella Knievel. He could understand Grandpa wanting to see the jump. He used to race motorbikes in the desert and drive to Boise for the stock cars. The lie, though, why would he do it? And then just wink about it? Jason wonders, though he thinks he's starting to know. The rules are the rules are the rules, the eternal truths unchanging. But inside the brotherhood of men are passageways and tangents, compartments and exceptions. They leave the freeway and cut south through the desert. Soon the canyon comes into view, a great gray crack in the land. Crowds swarm on the far rim, and behind them a dome of trees cloisters a ranch house. The bulge of the launch pad stands at the far end of the crowd, a mound of earth with a metal spire-like ramp, flanked by TV trucks and a white trailer. Below, the cut basalt walls of the canyon turn back afternoon light at strange angles. Silvered here, ashen there. The walls crumble downward into piles of boulder, and then stone, and then earthen slopes of weed and duff at the canyon bottom, split by the heavy, swirling Snake River. They turn east, away from town, and enter a line of cars inching forward. Soon they hear the sound of a marching band, the harsh tin of the horns, the thump of drums. Grandpa guns the sputtering engine. To the left, in the 100 yards or so between the road and the canyon rim, crowds mill and clump. Motorcycle engines whine. Beyond them is the ramp. Already, there is the sky cycle, the steam-powered rocket ship cocked toward heaven in red, white, and blue, and with Evel Knievel spelled in golden letters and the numeral 1 on the tail fin. "Sky cycle," Grandpa scoffs. "Nothing cycle about it." They come to the gate, and the man standing there with a bulging belly and hands full of bills gives their suits a second look. Grandpa hands him a 50, then drives in, bumping across the field. "Isn't this ridiculous?" he asks happily as he parks. Ahead, Jason can see tent tops. People have been camping here all week, partying, drinking, fighting, skinny dipping in the canyon pools.